Last night's destination was Grants, New Mexico. That's where we left it off from the daytime video. There are three major campgrounds in Grants. We looked at all of them and just for one reason or another decided that we didn't like any of them. I'm not saying they were bad campgrounds, it's just what we were looking for. So I suggested to Evelyn that we need to look at some options, and that's why we are actually 10 miles outside of Grants, northeast, at Coal Canyon Forest Service Campground. We then drove back after we got set up, and by that time it was about, it had been after 8 o'clock. We started to notice that Grants has some stuff, but not very much. There's like only about 3 fast food restaurants in town and 2 cafes, which is kind of surprising considering it sits right on the interstate here. We just kind of drove through the center towns trying to see if we could find something to eat, and we really didn't. We got all the way out to the east end of town when we spotted the Asian restaurant in town, and my wife said, yeah, there is where we're going to go. So we went there. Unfortunately, we figured out very quickly that they were shutting down and they had literally very little food left. So there was enough there for my wife, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. So I said, okay, no problem. We'll drive to the McDonald's, which we saw, and go there. Well, the line was like 14 cars long for the drive-through, and this particular McDonald's is under remodel, so you couldn't go in to eat even if you wanted to. I said, okay, let's drive back into town. I saw a major grocery store. We'll go there. I'll pick up some sandwiches and something and make this work. Well, drove in, got to the grocery store, and found out there's a real basic 1960s grocery store. No butcher block, no deli, which means no fresh foods to eat and go. At this point, our options were getting very limited, or I should say the options for me were very limited. We ended up passing a Alsop's gas station, which also has a smaller store, and I was able to find food, but wow, I paid like $18 for dinner last night. That was high. Oh well. Then we drove back to the campground and finished setting up for the night. I built a campfire, we sat around that, had some alcohol, margaritas in fact. And we were, sleeping by 11:30. We had a few drops of rain early on, but and a little bit of wind, but by midnight that all was clearing out. The temperature did go down pretty good, or at least it felt like it. I wasn't really feeling the most warmest through we had both blankets out, but the temperature in the Subaru doesn't lie. It only got down to the 40s. Still slept pretty well. And we're up at about 7:30 in the morning. So let me show you this campground before we get the heck out of here. There's about 20 sites, and the parkways are paved, so, and there's pullouts and back-ins here, so there's stuff for everyone here. Some of the sites are nicer than others, especially for tents. There are about 20 sites here. You're looking at our campsite. And there's the picnic table and everything else. And behind us is the bathrooms, the vault toilets behind the trees. So all the lots are paved, and they come with picnic table, a grill, and a fire ring. Pretty darn nice. Anyways, Karen's about to die. So I'm going to wave goodbye really quickly here. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and hope you're enjoying our trip and some of the other standard videos.